Hey guys, welcome back. We're about to watch Game 2 of Orange versus Tongfu. How'd you like Game 1 as a whole?
Game 1 as a whole, I mean, I made some jokes about it, but it was really methodical. The one knock on Mushi is that sometimes he kind of makes these mid-game decisions that are a little bit unsafe, but he decided to go the opposite end of that, played really safe, really smart Dota, just kind of used his teammates as human meat shields and timers while he took racks, and just a really methodical performance by Orange in general.
Yep, so definitely an anti-maged game. Let's hop into the draft, by the way. Let's see what they are picking up. Similar heroes so far. Tongfu's going to start off with a gyrocopter. We see a Darkseer onto Orange, which guarantees them a solid long lane. By the way, my name's Purge. I'm here with Blitz, of course. Team, what am I calling it? Hoodie?
Team
I don't
Hoodie?
care anymore. That was way cooler.
You had to
the
do a
first
better
time.
one.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
As an OTP, man, doing a really failed job.
I have nothing.
Let me think of the nicknames.
Is that what your job is?
Yeah.
What's my job?
Your job is to look pretty.
Okay, GG.
You can do that, right? I'm the brains of this operation.
It's definitely true. They don't know who they want to go with, though. Pretty typical bans. Actually, a Batrider this time. Tongfu was not happy with how active the Batrider was. I mean, he got his blink at a pretty reasonable time, and he just continuously made kills, which is one thing that I really liked about what Orange did in the last game. It was like every time Queen of Pain was ready with her ulti, they would just go gank the gyrocopter. They'd pick off core heroes. They would throw everything on them, but I mean, the kills really added up, and that's really where Anti-Mage can be strong. He's hard to gank himself. He can farm really, really fast, and heroes like Gyrocopter are less strong at being defensive.
Yeah, and Darkseer going to be picked up first by Orange Esports. I really like that hero in general. It's the long laner that you use to kind of team fight. It's one of those heroes, unlike Bat, the ganking aspect of him is a little bit weak, but team fight wise, man, this guy is strong. Vacuum, Ion Shell, Wall, the surge for running people in, especially the combination with Alchemist, that's quite strong. You can surge the Alchemist in if he has something like a Shadow Blade, and you get a guaranteed stun off.
So Tongfu picks up a Rubik, and in response, Orange snags an Alchemist. They didn't go with the Anti-Mage. What do you think? Why do you think they did this? I mean, Anti-Mage for Orange has been crushing all night. They play the style perfectly. Why are they not drafting it again?
Maybe the Alchemist might be going mid. Who knows? That does.
But nothing
IG
has
does
changed. They had a Gyrocopter last game. I guess they don't have a Batrider this time, so maybe they're ganking.
That does open up quite a bit for the Anti-Mage as well. And Darkseer is more of a team fight hero, more than it is the ganking split push style, and so maybe that's a big factor in that as well. Alchemist is actually a really good team fight carry. The stun does quite a bit of damage. The Acid Cloud makes it impossible to fight it, and with that Vacuum Acid Cloud, there's a little bit of a combination there. But OD gonna actually be banned out by Orange, which is a bit surprising. It didn't really look like they struggled with that hero too much.
Yeah, it didn't. I mean, it seemed like they outlaned him without too much trouble. He should have gotten more CS, but it didn't really happen, so props to Orange for dealing with that well. And a lot of jungling heroes being banned by Tongfu as well. They do complement Alchemist in some ways. They can open up the map a bit. He can hit the jungles pretty easily, and set up kills as well. I mean, usually the jungle creeps can have some kind of good disable, whether that's a net or a centaur stun, or even a slow clap. It'll give you an extra second or two of the bottle charge and possibly secure kills. And they haven't picked an offlane yet either, so apparently they're really scared about that early push.
Yeah, and actually Orange opting to ban all the mid heroes right now. Getting rid of that Obsidian Destroyer, getting rid of that Dragon Knight, maybe picking a slightly weaker mid, and just kind of afraid of those heroes in general. And OD, really good team fight hero, really good one-on-one hero, and actually Dragon Knight is a really good pusher as well. Opting to ban both of those out, and Tongfu, they don't want to get jungled this game by the Enchanters. Picking out the Chen as well, realizing that's a really good hero for Extinct.
Yep.
No Sven bans, I see.
I have no idea why. It's almost... I don't even like Sven as a carry. Like, every time I play that hero, if the lane is at all contested, I'm like, I feel worthless. And you don't get farm, and like, yeah, okay, you can double your damage, that's cool and all, but, like, man, I hate that hero. I think it sucks. I know Dendy has said personally, he's like, I think Sven is a good hero. And then Sven started, like, cleaving everybody for 1,000 damage, but, like, if the circumstances are not awesome, I feel like he sucks. Yes. Can we just, like, hate on Sven for 40 minutes? I don't know. Screw that hero. I don't even...
Let's just do that. Let's just focus in on a hero to hate. He clearly hasn't seen Purge play Sven to know how much angst you have against that hero, but
just complain the whole time and suck. Mostly because I suck, but like a little bit because Sven is a bad hero.
Should have gotten that CS.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Was that a good purge?
Should
have gotten that CS.
I usually say last hit over CS.
Okay.
I think
All
when
right,
I'm referring to a single CS.
Later on, you won't see it coming, and I'll do that again. I'll bring that joke back again. I'll recycle it.
Okay. I think you need more of a rumble to your voice. It was just a little. That was like smoky.
I
like
can't actually do that.
Like you've been smoking cigarettes.
I don't actually do that. Don't do that, kids. Smoking cigarettes is terrible for you, and it makes you smell terrible. Anyways, back into the game. A little more on topic. Orange hasn't picked up a hero yet, but Jakiro being picked up by Tongfu. I really like that hero in general. The synergy it has with the hero like Gyrocopter, just picking up mass AoE and teamfight. And a puck going to be picked up by Orange Neolution Esports.
I'm just really glad to see roaming supports be picked up by teams. Like, a lot of the games today have been really weird passive tri-lane supports. Like we saw, to start things off, we saw a Visage with a Sand King. We've seen a lot of Sand King supports tonight. We saw the Treant support. Now we're seeing a Rubik Jakiro. That can grab a smoke and they can go gank a lane from that. They can use Telekinesis into an Ice Path and maybe kill Puck. It gives them a lot of different options. They can do an aggressive tri-lane, they can do a safe tri-lane, and I feel like it's going to be a lot more fun to watch.
You would think that, but last game, Orange had a Sven and an Enchantress
Sven?
that had smokes.
I am not counting Sven. We already talked about this. Boring, kind of a crappy hero. He throws a stun and he's got 2 right clicks tops on a gank. Like, you've got double range. Those are those heroes get kills.
Yeah. At the very least, with both lineups, you have 6 heroes so far, 3 on each pick that are fighters. These are not, for the most part, passive farmers. And with that Kunkka pickup, you definitely know that Tongfu is going to be willing to get in fights left and right.
It's good. They have stuns. They have team fight. I feel like it's a lot stronger than some of the other lineups we've been seeing tonight. A lot of no stun lineups so far, and that's really where anti-mage thrives, honestly. You know, they can even have stuns and it's hard to kill. Doesn't even matter that much. Hate that hero. Anti-fun, guys, all the way. No anti-fun this game. Fingers crossed. Probably will not be happening.
Maybe. You don't even know if that's an Alchemist support. Orange is just kind of throwing,
Damn,
like,
Alchemist support?
strength supports. That's the theme.
Alchemist is almost a good support. If he had a little bit more armor, he could do it, man. Just max stun, roam around, acid spray.
Yeah. But I really like the Kunkka pickup. At the very least, it means that they're going to get into fights. The best thing about the Kunkka is that the boat essentially is spammable. The cooldown is so low on it that you want to pick a team that kind of has low cooldown spells to go along with it, and Gyrocopter's cooldown definitely fulfills that.
Yeah, if they can combo those two together, it's really good. It's a lot of AoE magic damage, actually. Puck doesn't have to worry about this too much, though. The stun setup on him, the only really good stun that's going to secure kills on Puck is Telekinesis, since it does have an instant cast time. Rubik doesn't have cast animations on a lot. You can also actually avoid X. I was watching a replay or somebody's stream earlier tonight, and if you're phase shifted while the X triggers, you do not teleport. Is that correct?
Is that so?
That's what it was looking like, yeah. He was phase shifting as the X transferred, and he wasn't able to secure the kills. So.
Yes. But still, Kunkka is a really good hero, just in general, just because of the Torrent. With the way that people are building it, they get 2 in a Torrent, 2 in a X early, and that makes it so that you absolutely have to fight. If you just get a hero like Crystal Maiden, you start the fight on her, just throw the boat in that general direction, you're either giving up the hero and saying, well, we're going to leave her to the wolves, and you start you just give up a kill, or you start a fight 4-on-5.
How do you feel about the Kunkka versus Puck matchup? Where's the favor in that, since I'm expecting that's going to be the 1v1 mid?
It's okay for Puck. You can dodge the Tidebringer using the phase shift, but the CSing advantage is a little bit in Kunkka's favor just because you can use the Tidebringer to deny without losing the effect. And also, the harassing angle is pretty decent. But Puck, it's kind of okay for both sides. Actually, that's a matchup I don't really see too often.
I feel like Kunkka can't get a kill.
No, definitely not. That's the one big difference.
But if Rubik Jakiro ganks, definitely. It's a possibility, because that's 3 stuns.
But in a pure one-on-one matchup, it's going to be difficult for the Kunkka to kill the Puck, whereas the Puck has some options to kill the Kunkka pre-6. And also, it's going to be impossible for him to land that boat without any help.
Yeah, it definitely will be. So, it's going to be a Lifestealer for the last pick for Tongfu. This is looking like it's going to be an aggressive tri-lane now, which makes a lot of sense. Alchemist is not the safest of the tri-lane heroes, so Lifestealer, Jakiro, Rubik, aggressive tri-lane. Kind of fun to see Lifestealer more so in 3 positions. Gyrocopter is going to go safe against the Darkseer, likely, and they'll put Kunkka versus the Puck mid. And they have really, really good mid game. They have pretty solid late game as well with Gyrocopter and Lifestealer. I just love Tongfu's draft here. I think it looks really solid and fills a lot of gaps.
Yes, and I actually really like that Lifestealer pickup. I I think he deserves a better pick than being picked last.
Yeah,
I think the hero.
that's crazy to see him in that position.
Yeah, the hero was changed a little bit with the open wounds nerf, but I think that nerf was necessary. But at the same time, you still have all the things that made him fantastic as a hero. And once he gets a bit of levels, you have the same old life stealer that was overpowered.
Do you think he's gonna get more nerfs after this? Like, it does force him to put more into open wounds. His attack speed from rage and his duration isn't as good as it used to be, but it seems like, okay, you get him to 7 and his open wounds is maxed, and yeah, his rage is a little bit worse, and maybe he doesn't have that many feast levels, but who cares? Like, he still seems useful.
The hero was fantastic before, and he's very good right now. The Crystal Maiden isn't going to be able to do anything against him.
Yeah.
Every time the fight starts, if she's not really, really far in the back, Life Stealer will just rip her apart. But anyways, finally getting into this game, Nature's Prophet going to be the last pickup by Ohio. Going to be playing the off lane. King J going to be playing that Life Stealer. It looks like he might be... The way I'd like Tongfu to run this is actually in an offensive tri-lane, using the Life Stealer, and just putting the Gyrocopter against that solo Darkseer actually does quite decently, just because you can spam the flat cannon. But let's get into introducing the teams. This time, Kevin, I would like you to do orange.
Can I? Thank you. Alright, so for orange, on the right side, they are currently up 1 game versus Tongfu. Mushi's going to be playing Alchemist. We've got KYXY on the puck. X is playing the Crystal Maiden as typical. Ohio is playing the Nature's Prophet, and the last player is going to be Net playing the Darkseer? Is this, I'm confused. Net usually plays the hard support, but he's playing Darkseer this game. Is this something crazy? Is this a support Darkseer? No way.
I mean...
I guess this is. I mean, it's a 4 position.
Yeah,
but
I think that's like a jungle Darkseer more than anything.
Maybe X doesn't like Darkseer or something. It could be something like that.
It is a bit greedy, just because you only have 2 heroes at top, considering. So right now for Tongfu, this would actually be really big if they could get the offensive tri-lane off. It means that Mushi would have a really difficult time CSing in general. And here's the 5-man there. Actually, it's a 4-man. As Hao gonna represent himself at bottom. This is actually quite smart. Trying to just kind of fool them. But I think Orange knows what's up, and they don't want to get into this fight early, especially with a Nature's Prophet and a Puck. You don't really want to get into this fight too early. And it looks like they're just going to back out. Did you see what Hao did at bottom, though? He showed himself. Yeah, but he showed himself is the important thing. So then they're trying to fool Orange into thinking, oh, well, they're all at bottom trying to protect the ward spot.
Oh, so you were saying he put
himself...
and
actually, Ohio... He's going to be in quite... no, actually getting right-click quite a bit.
Yeah, these treants have 40 seconds up, so even if he did use Rocket Barrage... Oh, he's going to
be
able to go after him.
Swing back around, but Ohio actually is way too close to the tower.
Yeah, it was a pretty nice play there. So you think that he showed so that they would think that all the heroes were bought, and therefore Orange would run into 4 heroes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Just because they can't take that fight, I think, Tongfu, in a 4-on-5 situation. Especially knowing the Nature's Prophet is just going to pull the creeps, so he has to start off bottom right. So at best, they get a 4-on-4 situation.
Mu might be in trouble in the mid lane. This is a dual lane. Look at that damage. Mu gets really low. Unfortunately for them, X needs a 2nd level to secure the kill, and he's going to survive from this. But he started off with a Stout Shield. It's like he predicted this.
Yeah, might have seen this coming. He actually, most times you see a Kunkka just go for that 3 Ironwood Branch Tango build, but looks like they've correctly predicted this happening, and KYXY actually starting at top.
Oh, a bit of a Tango waste here on King J. He had about 30% of 1 left over, so that'll cost him about 30 HP, but not the end of the world. Ohio continues to get CS. The flat cannon harass is going to continue. Hao's got to be careful, though.
Yeah, quite a bit of stacking going on right now in the jungle for the Darkseer. Net looks like he's just going to be stacking this entire time. And I feel like this slightly favors Orange. The Nature's Prophet, the lane is already pushed out at his tower. All he really needs is levels. Get the quick level 6, and you have so much map control.
Yeah.
And Net is getting essential free farm. Actually, he's going to get caught in the jungle here. Is Banana going to see him?
He only has an Ice Path, though, but it's pretty easy to land it uphill. He's going to whiff it, I guess, or
no,
not
he's
cast
actually not even going to throw it. He realizes that Net is level 2, just going to run around. But if nothing happens and this game kind of just evolves into a farm war, it is going to favor Orange just because the Darkseer is going to do so well for himself.
Mushi taking a lot of damage, but he does get his bottle transferred over now. Crystal Maiden has 1 Clarity Potion left, and she's actually going to drink 1 of these very purposefully because she does need to get a nuke up. But in the meantime, Alchemist is going to go to the bot lane. He's going to go check for runes. Actually not bot, so really unlucky for him. Banana covers the regen on the top lane, and that means that possibly Moo's going to snag this for some HP as well as a bit of mana. So, and again, the really cool thing about dual lanes like this, ooh, can he deny the regen is the question. There's the Frostbite, actually. He's going to go for the right click. He is going to get the right click.
Oh, he loses
does,
it.
Barely.
But I think they're actually going to pick up a rebuttal kill for this.
Pretty good. First, the first nuke. Can Mushi get the response? He puts him low. Gonna need 2 hits, I think. 2 hits, maybe 3 hits with the Stout Shield.
Mushi might actually be going down here.
Oh, he wants to bait him into it. Oh,
and Moo's going to get a double kill.
Oh, Moo is so... What a baller, man.
Oh, and a TP going to come in for the Nature's Prophet.
Damn. Gets the kill. Big level
and he
for
trees
Nature's
himself
Prophet.
in. Is this a good idea? Banana actually has an Ice Path. Looks like he was going to go for an Ancient for a second. He does have a Salve. No boots, though. And actually, King J going to swing out from the top. I think this was a bad idea.
Ooh, he is going to get the kill. He does trade. There's the open wounds last second. The Sprout pops the Tango of his own. Moo walks around, and that's going to be it. Nature's Prophet does go down. Caused a lot of rotations at least, but still turned out okay for them. So even sentries on the low ground to block the obs, but 3-1 at the moment. They lost a lot of heroes to get that kill.
You know, it's like I said, Kevin, my favorite thing is spite plays, and there was a lot of spite in there.
Yeah, there really was.
He
was like,
died
I got
just to
this.
get that deny on that regen. I love that play. Do it again, 100% out of 100.
Mushi getting thrown back. Great Torrent as well. He's going to be put to half HP. He's not going to die from this, but great harass. I think Mushi even threw his concoction a bit early there. He threw it at about 4 seconds, which meant it wasn't at full duration. Gank on the bot now from How. Net's going to drop the Iron Shell as well. A couple right clicks. Frost Nova's X is going for the dive. This is going to be a little scary. He does have a salve, though. First salve being popped. Here comes the right click. And the Frostbite, that's going to secure the kill on him. I think a couple more rights. Yep, they get it. Nature's Prophet with the last hit. So really, really aggressive roaming going on here. Mushi is still soloing mid against the Kunkka, but really nice rotation from X here.
Yeah, and a really good rotation by him. Crystal Maiden, that's one of the great things about her. Such a kawaii Ugu hero.
Yeah.
You got 2 disable / nukes. You got a slow and the aura that was recently buffed. It means that you have a lot of presence in the lanes, and you're able to do quite a bit. I've actually lost a lot of bets, guys, so if you hear me say random stuff, that's why.
No, I think that was definitely the best term to describe Crystal Maiden.
Kawaii Ugu?
She's definitely the most kawaii
It's actually the
Ugu
most
character.
weeaboo embarrassing thing I could have said, but, you know, that's why bet against Blitz dota. But Moo's actually just going to force this lane up. He's actually got 22 CS. I don't actually know what Mushi's only got 6, but they are going to go for this gank on How again.
What's going on? This is their carry. He's like, I'm going to go gank the side lanes. How's in trouble. About to activate Rocket Barrage. He actually uses it a little bit of whiff, though. Net's going to take a ton of damage, though. Puts an Iron Shell on himself, and he's going to go for it. He's like, okay, I'm dead anyways. Might as well go for it.
And a rotation by Banana, and he is going to get it off.
He does.
One more hit would be enough.
Oh, man, what is this
Ohio's going to go down too, and X, he actually has no boots. Banana's actually just going to chase him down. The right click should be enough.
Eats the one tree that he could have juked around, and here comes the dual breath. X is going to buy out.
And a triple kill on Banana early game.
Wow. He's level 6.
he's level 6 at 5 minutes with the support Jakiro.
Did you guys see what he did at the start of the game? He was legitimately roaming at level 1. He is tied for the highest level in the game on Banana. He's got a macro pyre. Like, what is happening? This is really scary for a couple reasons.
And
So
at
Puck's
top,
going to
King
get a
J
solo
does
kill.
get killed.
That's pretty impressive. Solo kill on a lifestealer as a Puck is cool. But the reason this Jakiro is balling out of control pretty much, he's going to grab an Arcane Boots. If he has mana, Dual Breath is a really, really cool, low cooldown nuke. It's got a great disable. Jakiro's naturally tanky as well, so he can really use this HP and nuke advantage to pressure a lot of these heroes. Just rolling around, dual breathing, getting the cooldowns, and taking out heroes. It's honestly going to be a scary presence. Jakiro with dual breath is honestly a strong support hero.
That's a sub 6-minute Arcane Boots on a support Banana right now. Support Banana. That sounds really weird. Support Banana.
What other kind of bananas exist?
Now I'm thinking of like a banana holding up like wards and stuff. I don't know. I've got a weird mind.
Somebody get to it.
But Banana actually just going to try to pull the creeps here. The Nature's Prophet Treant is actually going to lead them away. But a little bit of pressure. This game, this isn't one of those passive games. It looks like they're just going for the all-out fights here. Orange diving left and right. I'm absolutely loving this right now.
Yep, there's the Ice Path. And only going to catch a range creep. Sick gank. Here's the Frost Nova. Actually, here comes the Frostbite as well. And how? And it's going to catch him. Oh, wow. Great call down, but it actually is completely evaded by Orange. More right clicks. Great creep blocking as well. Oh, is going to try to stop things, but Moose shows up. Here comes the Torrent. Not looking good. Torrent, it was canceled, I think, but he does end up going down. Banana, man, this guy is absolutely going crazy. Great Torrent on X now, and a couple more right clicks as Kunkka snags the second of these 2 kills.
Yeah, and I think Orange is just playing this way too over-aggressively. And they're telegraphing their ganks too. They've gone to this bottom lane 3 times now. You can't do it that many times. And at the last time, they actually brought along Mushi, who's... Look at his farm right now. He picked up the bottle super early, and since then, he has a TP and 300 gold. He's actually got, like, no farm, but Sansheng is going to get dived on. No rebuttal kill. That looks like he is going to be able to run out, unless he gets hit by the tower. Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Just makes the corner.
So Puck able to finish off the lifestealer here in response for the Rubik who died that was on the mid lane actually. So a lot of action happening. KYXY picking up a arcane boots. I know this is your favorite Puck boot if I'm not mistaken, right?
Definitely, and actually in a situation like this, I think it really works out. Tongfu has dominated that bottom lane and the middle lane, but the lone bright spot right now for Orange is this top lane where this Puck, oh my god, he's so close to a Blink Dagger right now. Look at his farm. He's got 1900 gold right now with Arcane Boots at 8 minutes. He's going to have a sub 10 minute Blink Dagger.
Yeah, in the off lane like this, when you don't have as much access to runes, it's sometimes needed to grab more mana. So grabbing the Arcane Boots can help him supply and do more harass against the Lifestealer.
Yeah, and it looks like King J is just kind of getting run down. And the right-click damage from KYXY, despite going the Arcane Boots, is still quite high. 74 base damage on him. And now he's got a Blink Dagger.
Mushi's going to be in trouble. Sansheng going to start things off with Telekinesis. There's the Fade Bolt as well. Call down. Here comes the big damage. Doesn't matter. He had ulti for him, and guy gets killed again. So a third death now in Mushi. Alchemist having a lot of trouble this game.
Yeah, they're doing the correct thing here. Mushi's and a bottom.
Ooh,
Who's going to get gone on, but the boat comes off, and I think X is going to actually die for this.
Wow, once again, turning things around. A little bit of right click from Moo. Big damage there. Ned as well trying to run for his life, but gets killed. How many times is this going to happen? These ganks on Gyrocopter, the ganks on Kunkka. Do you feel like they got too scared there? I don't know. I saw the boat fly out, and Orange just split. They were like, get out. He threw the boat.
I really think they should stop trying to go on this bottom lane. Especially on a hero like a Kunkka, if you don't instantly burst him down, the Coco's Rum effect from just throwing the boat, even if it doesn't hit, is going to come out. And looks like King J is going to go down again. He did get the rebuttal kill, though, on the Puck.
For once. That's the first time that he returned a kill back. But
I just think that if they weren't playing this aggressively at bottom lane, they would be in control of this game right now. The short lane Puck absolutely destroyed King J at top.
That's a good point.
He had like a 9-minute... I mean, he had enough money for an 8-minute Blink Dagger. He did die right there, but he's still going to get a sub 10 minute Blink Dagger, and he would have been able to just dominate the game if you just play a little more patiently. They got the first kill on Hao at the beginning, and then since then, I think they've just been forcing it way too much. And Banana's just gone... He's going ham, Kevin. He's 5-0-6 right now with Jakiro.
He's got the best stats in the game as a support hero. He's the only hero that hasn't died yet. He's got 1,000 HP. He's going to be building into an urn after his Arcane Boots. This guy's got so much mana to work with. It's going to be impressive.
Yeah, and he's actually doing better than Mushi is right now in terms of farm and levels. He's got level 8. Mushi's 0-3 and 4 right now. That's something you don't really see on him, and I think it really started with this dual lane, going for that rune, that Crystal Maiden, and then dying, and then trying to go bottom rotate for the gank. I really think he should have just tried to stay mid and try to get a little more out of that lane. Going to that gank, failing it, and then dying as well, that's just not the kind of start you want to have on an Alchemist, especially when you don't go any levels of Grievel's Greed.
Yeah, no kidding. But that's pretty common for a typical Alchemist mid. They generally favor more so of Disables and Acid Spray as well. But I kind of wish, with all the ganking he's done, why doesn't he max Unstable Concoction instead of the Acid Spray? Like, Acid Spray is great for pushing and farming, but he's been all about ganking here.
I think, though, it's more that he doesn't want to gank. It's just kind of something that's had to happen just because he's had such a poor start. The stun does quite a bit of damage. The Acid Cloud paired with it does quite a bit because it is physical, but... I mean, geez, it's becoming really difficult right now for Orange, just because they only have one hero with a lot of farm, and that's the Puck, who actually hasn't come to a lot of ganks yet. Just kind of picking up individual kills.
This guy's so ready to gank bot, though. He does have the Blink Dagger. He's at full mana. If they just get vision of how actually they're going to counter-initiate, Net's in trouble. Here comes the boat. Here's the Torrent as well. The magic damage is huge, and Puck says, well, I was going to fight on this. He's going to go in. Sansheng is
the buyback.
Great sounds. Buyback comes. The farmed guy is on call here. Throws the orb through, goes through a couple. Banana, no! You can't die, Banana! He's gonna get killed. TP out for Nature's Prophet, but King J is able to use the Invest and do enough damage. Double kill for Hao here. Great turn of events, and 2 more dead heroes for Orange as they once again try to snag kills. That was 3 deaths total, by the way. Darkseer died right at the start of that fight.
Yeah, and actually Puck gets picked off as well. The Nature's Prophet dies as well. The Nature's Prophet did buy the Hand of Midas before he died.
Okay.
But still, this bottom lane just isn't working out for Orange, and it seems like they're just kind of butting their heads at it, and they're like, we're going to make this work.
This didn't
It's a
work
pride
before
thing at this point.
for the 4th time.
Yeah.
Well,
And they did kill Banana. That's the bright spot.
Hey, they got initiated on those, so that's going to happen sometimes. I mean, they were trying to set up kills. That's why Darkseer was forward. The X came because they didn't expect Kunkka to be there. They thought that was just going to be Gyrocopter. It's basically just been a lot of Tongfu being in the right place at the right time and making the plays just barely. They're going to throw Alchemist forward. Here comes X. We're going to have a Torrent as well. Will he throw the boat? He's going to back up from it. First Torrent lands.
Sansheng is taking so much damage.
Wow.
And Aditi comes out, but Banana, once
Oh my
again,
gosh.
right there.
Look at the
Casual
damage
boat
output,
kind of just
man.
flies over Extinct.
Dude,
Banana has been on point this game with the counter ganks.
yeah, no kidding. And especially the positioning-based stuff. There's a lot of melee heroes on Orange, or at least the Alchemist has been in a lot of these fights. He's died 4 times now. An Ice Path Dual Breath combo, it does so much damage. It's like, I think Dual Breath, when you add everything up, it does around pretty close to 400 damage. So he's doing about 450 damage every combo. Plus macro power on top of that. We're talking a lot of magic damage, guys.
Yeah. And this is an Orange that I'm used to seeing. The really aggressive trademark, we'll go for the ganks and fights. I think last game style would have benefited them a lot more if they had gone back to it. Just play a more methodical style, slow down the pace of the game, get your farm on Mushi. But it almost feels like they panicked. They're like, well, Mushi has no farm. We have to get something going.
Yeah.
But in doing so, I mean, they've taken such a dive.
They did so much damage to the Kunkka at the start too. I mean, why didn't they just stick to that? I know they did have some heroes die and things like that, but I felt like stuff was going okay. Puck was winning the top lane. They had a Darkseer bot? No, they had Nature's Prophet bot and they had a Darkseer jungling. I felt like they just tried to force all of these ganks endlessly, and they could have just passively farmed okay.
And this is a 4-man smoke, and it looks like it's going to actually catch out Extinct, who's done such a good job relatively of not dying, but no way you're going to live here. Once you get X, that's the kill. Just goes down. Banana picks up another kill. He's 6-1 and 8 now. Roshan gonna even enter the fight. Please,
He's
Roshan.
got more kills and assists combined than he does CS, which is pretty impressive. Only 1 death on this guy so far, and it was unstoppable at that point. Only stopped so many heroes.
Yeah, and a 4-man smoke gank to pick off Crystal Maiden doesn't really seem like what they wanted to do, but on the bright side, we have talked a lot about what Tongfu has done well. KYXY has done fantastic. He's pressured this top lane. He's got 1,100 gold, a really quick blink dagger still. He's going to go on at top. Looks like he's just going to run away, though. Banana with the TP. And Moo's actually going to catch him.
Ooh, this looks pretty scary, man. I don't know what that means. It's a disconnect from the all-star Banana. A lot of TPs coming as well. He should be able to X on top of this. A phase shift was already used, actually, so this should be a guaranteed Torrent disable on Puck, unless he does like an interrupt on Dreamcoil and is able to dodge the Torrent somehow. Well, that's probably my best bet here.
The phase shift is down though.
Yeah,
you've only got the Dreamcoil up. This is going to be really scary. I think Moo's going to be able to get this kill off. All right, Kevin. Let's talk though about this support Jakiro a little bit more, who's done fantastically, and it's all started with the positioning. Orange diving that bottom lane over and over again. It reminded me a little bit of that the LGD versus LGD game, where it felt like LGD China was ahead in the lanes, and they're like, well, we have to do something crazy now. Let's inject a little bit of excitement.
That's what it reminds you of?
Yeah, I mean
this is no Ursa Skeleton King. You are like giving them way too much credit.
No,
here.
no. I mean the first game, where they were ahead in the laning phase,
okay,
and then they just kind of kept diving that bottom.
That's right, they did dive quite a bit. So
it just seemed unnecessary.
Well, especially because they're not getting the kills. I mean, Banana Man, he's been in the right place at the right time. Man, we're about to resume. Here comes the resume. Puck, are you dead? I think so, but we'll see. Oh, he's trying to juke. There's the first hit. Looking for the X. Doesn't even care. Ice Path, and that's it. KOXY goes down. Kunkka snags the kill. Nice play by Moo, and that's also going to cost them a Death Coil. Or Dream Coil, excuse me.
But the cooldown for that is relatively low. Mushi, he is starting to do something. Trying to pick up a little bit of farm. He's got 952 gold. Top tower is denied. King J actually has nothing. That's the bright spot right now for Orange, but Ohio, he is going to get spotted out here. Sansheng, he's going to get lifted, but Mushi's going to throw down the stun.
Wow, that damage is huge. Minus armor from the acid spray, follow that up with the unstable concoction. That guy takes.
And Banana's going to come in from the left.
Oh, he doesn't even look how much damage he's doing. He took out about 40% of Crystal Maiden's health. The X comes back. Will we see a Torrent as well? No, it's going to be a Macro Pyre into it, which is pretty good. Ice Path is going to miss just barely, but Net is getting pretty slowed here. A couple hits. Can Moo kill him with one hit? Needs one more. Pops the wand. The chase is almost there. The orb comes through. Can Puck save him? Moo is throwing the Torrent down. Will he run into it? He's not going to, and Moo's get out of here, but Mushi's going to try to take targets. Banana is going to be the guy to go down. Tries to snake the kill on Net, but not effective, and now will blink past. Orb comes through, going after Moo, but he is still dodging and evading, so really, really close save. Darkseer almost goes down there, but does not end up dying.
Yeah, Mushi picks up quite a bit from there. Didn't die. Manages to pick up the Rubik for free. They do get another kill on Banana, who, you know, for the most part, you'd say, all right, it's a support, but that is a really farm support. It's got a lot of levels on him as well, so you kind of have to play that, you know, as like a semi-carry. That's like almost like a 3 support.
The Jakiro?
Being played by the Jakiro, yeah. He's a level 10. He's actually got, like, just as much experience. He's got 2 more experience than Mushi does at this point.
Yeah.
So getting a kill on him is huge.
And the scary part is, like, how often do you see Liquid Fire picked up? It's kind of a crappy skill until you get at least 2 or 3 points into it. But, I mean, it's so late into the game that Liquid Fire, if he does get to something like level 4 and he can just use this on an Alchemist in a team fight, it is seriously damaging towards any physical DPS carry. So Liquid Fire might actually become an impact ability this game, which is pretty cool to see.
Yeah. The worst thing about this, I feel so bad for Extinct right now playing that Crystal Maiden. He has died 6 times, but when you're behind and you're playing a Crystal Maiden and you're getting into these team fights, it's actually impossible to live. You're just going to get picked off every time. Anytime somebody sees you, as soon as the X comes, it's like a death sentence. You're like, well, yeah, life is over for me.
Even the Jakiro was doing a massive amount of her HP. It was like a dual breath and some other nuke, and she just died immediately. So game will resume. Let's take a look at the graphs in case you guys are curious. It's going to be a Radiant team advantage, not by a massive amount, just about 1,000. The EXP is moderately in their favor, and this is where we're seeing their advantage. They've got a lot more kills, therefore they're going to profit from more EXP. And another disconnect, unfortunately, from Tongfu. So having that Steam bug, it's probably the same issue that's causing us to crash occasionally.
Yeah, and actually, Tongfu, they did lose those 2 towers at top, and I'm assuming that's where the gold, that's why the gold is so close. But if those 2 towers weren't available to them, then this game would look a lot more scary for them. But KYXY did quite a good job of pushing out that top. As a solo puck, mind you, he actually kind of did all the damage by himself.
Yeah.
And that's actually really helping Mushi along. What item do you think Mushi's going to get? A Shadow Blade? Do you think it's too late for that? Or do you think that can still benefit him?
Man, this poor guy is so poor. A Shadow Blade against these heroes, I mean, they're quite farmed, so they will be able to afford detection. It's not a bad choice. I mean, a lot of their supports are a little squishy. Mainly Rubik, I guess. Jakiro has pretty high natural HP, but his armor's a little low. So I guess if they could Shadow Blade initiate on core heroes like Kunkka, imagine them killing him or bursting him down. The problem being, they don't have any follow-up. Like, their stuns, they're limited to Unstable Concoction. They can do a silence afterwards, but it only does so much. I don't know, I feel like Shadow Blade won't even be enough for them to pick off core heroes. I mean, it'd be cool to throw a full duration stun, but they're behind now. I feel like he needs to get something better. I don't know, but Alchemist really needs like 2 items before he becomes useful team fighting. So it's a really hard choice. I don't know. I guess they have to do Shadow Blade. It's a pretty good early game item.
Yeah, KYXY just gonna sit behind Mushi here, gonna provide him with a bit of protection to farm. He's got 1,600 gold here. Maybe he ends up picking up something even crazier like a Radiance. Hasn't really bought anything yet, but we're just gonna cleave this down. Looks like the game is gonna start to kind of get a little more passive.
About time, guys.
Yeah, that was a pretty frenetic
way too crazy for me.
pace that they were setting in the beginning. Going at bottom, it looks like another fight's going to break out, but Lifestealer pauses again, and San Sheng now takes the turn to disconnect.
I'm so sad. I'm pretty sad about this. On the top lane, King J is still picking up farm. And on the bot lane, How is TPing in. It doesn't really seem like a gank. Seems like more of a team fight or something like that. How does TP the bot lane? Another one coming out. This is going to be Jakiro. They did spot out the Nature's Prophet, though, so I think this is one of their Radiant wards. Yes, this one here. So they have spotted out his roaming. Oh, there's my crash. Perfect timing, guys.
I'm going to zoom to you.
Do it. Hey, I'm by myself. Blitz took this period of time to sneak off, confuse the hell out of me, and force me to solo cast. But he's back, guys. There are his legs. I'm sure that's the first time you've seen them. Are they? Yeah, that's true. It looks like he shaves every day.
Here are these arms.
You know how smooth they are? They're so smooth.
You wanna touch it?
I'm okay. Thank you, though.
Gave you the option.
Crashes all over the place, unfortunately. So we will be loading back into the game shortly. Thanks, everybody, for being patient. It's not just us. The game is actually paused, regardless of us not being in there, so we have missed nothing.
Yeah. You know what the best part about this game is? Banana really feels like the protagonist. Every time he dies, I know as a caster I'm supposed to be 100% unbiased, but every time he dies, like a little part of me is like, ugh.
Guys, we are unbiased for everybody except Banana. So hop into the game quick here. Mushi's going to be rushing towards the mid lane. The TPs did finish bot. Where did Nature's Prophet go? He actually strolled away. So nothing happened. Just 2 TPs actually from the Radiant team. So Gyrocopter continues his farm. He's going to be finishing BKB up pretty soon here. Mu also shifting mid. So
It looks like Mushi's going to pick up a BKB, maybe? Unless he's getting a
probably not
Maelstrom.
a Desolator or a Mouse.
I'd like
so
to
much
see...
magic nuke. I feel like a Mjolnir would be a mistake.
I don't know, maybe try to up the farming, but Mu is actually invisible right now with the Shadow Blade.
And Infest.
And he's got the Infest on him.
Can he phase shift? He does, so it does block the X, but even
he's still
still,
gonna
look
go
at the
down.
damage. Oh my gosh. He used Orb right before the gank came in. That's one of the worst feelings ever. If he had Orb there, he probably would have been able to get out, but wasn't able to make it. And they must have done damage because he didn't blink either. So
Yeah, able to pick him off really quickly there. And that's a really big kill. KYXY was kind of like the lone bright spot right now. Mu's going to push out mid now. Looks like Mushi's just going to sit here with the DD rune pop. Should just Acid Cloud, be able to save this tower. No problem.
wow, the tower actually has a lot of HP. The ganking, I'm surprised this is so survivable, but he's going to continue farming. Goblin's Greed is picked up. Level 2 ulti helps a lot. Gets 30 HP regen instead of 15, so doubles that effect.
Yeah, and Mushi wondering what item he's going to go for. Is it going to be the BKB? We'll find out here in a second. The best thing about what's going on right now with Orange is they have lost a lot of fights, but at the same time they've done such a good job of keeping up their towers. And in terms of map control, towers determine the majority of that. I went at top, King J.
There's a silence that's so good against Lifestealer, and they're going to even sprout him in. Super easy kill, man. Orchid is a great counter against Lifestealer. If he can't rage, he's not magic immune, and he's squishy like any other carry, and that's exactly what they're exploiting, except they can do it naturally with the Waning Rift. A little bit of burst damage here. And they didn't even have to pop Wrath of Nature either, so really nice pickup there for Prop. And he may end up popping his ulti to do the counter push on the bot lane, but they've been really patient with his ulti. And there it is, finally casting it. We'll see some nuke damage come to the bot lane, and they're going to get scared from pushing here.
Yeah, and this deters them. It really feels like they're just not being able to take any towers, and Orange is doing such a good job of defending all of their towers. Orange is doing a really good job of defending all their towers in net.
Oh my god.
Wow. And the deny gets
so
off.
sick.
Nature's Prophet actually has a Shadow Blade now, and Mu's going to come in from the left.
He does have a regen. There's the X starting things off. A Torrent following up afterwards. Level 3. It lands. Ice Path getting as well. Rocket Barrage. So much magic damage. And Darkseer gets bursted down immediately. Sansheng almost going down. Puck trying to get the kill. Great earn coming out of Banana, but it's not enough heals. Rubik is still picked off here. Good attempt, though. That was really sick earn.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Mushi's just going to farm during this entire time, and that's a huge deal for them. Just because he doesn't have to participate in those fights, they are able to get the deny off, which is the best case scenario, and they get a kill in return.
Observer ward. They're going to spot
Oh,
him.
and mid, Mushi.
This looks bad. There's, oh my god, the damage. Oh my god. So dead. He had no chance there. The first hit took him down about 25% of his HP. He doesn't even have a crit yet. That was literally just the Shadow Blade breaking invis.
Yeah, and it really feels like you have the Nyx Bomb on the Bat Rider and the Storm combination, but now you have it on a Shadow Blade Kunkka.
It's a weird ganking combo, but it's working well.
Yeah, it's working really well, actually. And a tower looks like it's going to be pressured quite a bit by Orange, but Banana perfectly placed, going to defend that. It's got 153 HP, so not in range of being denied, but KYXY.
Oh wow, he didn't time it right. The X takes it back at just the right time. He does end up getting killed. A little unfortunate for him, but I think Puck's phase shift it's actually pretty high duration now. 2.25 seconds. I think he realized that there was a lower chance of him getting his blink off since this wasn't maxed out. If he didn't take the illusory orb, he probably wasn't going to be able to blink. So he went for the gamble, and unfortunately for him, it wasn't quite at the right time.
Yeah,
so.
mid BKB on How now. Going to be taken down, I think. Extinct actually can't do anything this game. He was looking at mid, and he's like, well,
I'll go jungle.
Yeah, oh my god, is he going to die? This would be the worst thing in the world. I feel so bad for...
Oh,
it just feels like they just don't see it.
Oh,
and Moo's going to pick him off again.
X. Right click as well, charging up the unstable concoction. They're going to throw, but it doesn't matter. The setup goes through. Nature's Prophet only puts Sansheng really low. Darkseid's going to grab him with the Iron Shell at least, so things are going okay for Orange, but the Rocket Barrage, the Macro Pyre, Banana, he's like, I'm going to carry on top of you guys. Puck picks him off though. King J TPing back to base, an unstable concoction. A lot of kills, 3 dead for Tongfu, but the boat comes in. Only going to catch Mushi, but a large percent of his HP does go down. BKB on How. How's going to fight this. Rocket Barrage doing a lot of damage to Trans. Great blocking so far. Orb comes through to position.
Oh, this Treant blocking is dirty.
Man, he's been playing so well. And starting off the stun. Stun comes through. How is down, and Puck snags the kill. 4 dead heroes on Tongfu, and Orange is turning things around.
Yeah, it looks like the DPS from Ohio was just way too much for them to deal with. Forcing them to go on those really tanky heroes like Net. The Crystal Maiden took way too long to kill, and she was essentially traded for a Kunkka, and that's not exactly the kind of trade you want to see.
So they'll take a tier 1 tower from this. Again, it is a BKB on the Alchemist, which he can purchase now. He's so far behind, he just needs to not take magic damage. I mean, everything that is magic damage has been cutting through.
Mushi.
Oh, he steals Unstable Concoction, or steals Chemical Rage, actually. Great attack speed out of him. That is like one of the best things on Rubik, man.
He's got 1500 HP now.
And he regens 30 HP per second. Like, how is he supposed to die?
He's never going to. And another disconnect. They're actually doing just kind of doing a roulette. Taking turns.
Disconnecting?
Yeah, they're like, well, it's my turn now.
Yeah.
Alright, let's just kind of sit in this uncomfortable silence at my terrible joke.
Alright, Puck on the top lane, picks up a Bracer. What do you think he's going to go next? Is it a Sheep Stick? I mean, they could try to counter some of the enemy carries. They have BKBs, so Sheep is usually great, but...
I'd have to imagine it'd be a Sheep Stick. Just with the Blink Dagger, the instant initiation on the Sheep, it's such a big deal, especially since you're playing a Puck who can always phase shift if things get terrible. God, I think before that fight in middle, there was such great control on the side of Tongfu, but it looked like they weren't playing objective-based Dota. They were just kind of going for kills right there, and I don't think that's the way to play, especially when you're not that far ahead. I mean, diving into a T2 like that, half of your team is going to die. I mean, Sansheng just kind of died to nothing. Just like kind of being there by proxy, being killed like that, and not being able to get anything off. And that also killed your Kunkka's Beyond Godlike streak, who I think he was 11-0 before that.
Wow, he has a few kills. He's had a pretty good game, that's for sure. He has his Crystallis picked up. He's got a Daedalus recipe in the stash, so a mere 1400 away, and he could. Poor X. I just crit kill him. Like, this guy's gonna die. It's gonna happen. He does have a 10 charge wand, but if you take 720 pure, you're just gonna go away.
Yeah. It felt a little bit unnecessary. Now it seemed like Tongfu was like, well, you guys have dived all game. Let us return the favor.
We'll donate some kills and some killing sprees.
But you can't do that, especially now with 3 levels of Goblin's Greed on Mushi, and it is Mushi. You can't take that risk, giving up kills like that. He's got 2,400 gold now.
He hasn't bought his BKB yet, which is a little weird, but...
Mu gonna go...
He's like, I'm gonna farm everything but the recipe and then change items. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. It's not
what
that
if he
worth
just
it.
goes for S and Y and like a Maelstrom?
Desolator.
Doesn't care at all. But it looks like they are going to finally play a bit of objective-based Dota. Going to go for this top tower. KYXY already preparing for this. But the Naix is in Mu again.
No splash going through the towers, but the tower's going to take quite a bit. The orb is not going to catch anybody, actually. And a little flat cannon results in the creep wave dying. Tier 1 tower is going to go down, and the Dire team will not defend this.
And it looks like another Shadow Blade is going to come out on the way of Tongfu, with How actually picking one up. Mu's going to go on bottom. Try to find that Nature's Prophet, maybe? Nope. And he still has the Life Stealer in him.
The Life Stealer is just hanging out. He's got a phase and a drum. Okay early to mid game items, but he's not going to be doing some carrying this game, at least not for a bit. He actually carries probably harder than Alchemist does in the meantime, especially with
Feast. Oh, is Net going to get caught out here? Mu's chasing him. He knows he's there, but it looks like the distance is a little too great.
Oh,
he's going to go back for the rune.
He's like, hey guys, it's a DD. I need this. Here comes the X. Here comes the Torrent. He's going to have to do it now. And we'll end it.
Oh, and he misses it, actually, and that's something you don't often see. That should have been a free kill.
I thought that was on target, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, and Mushi actually going to finally finish his BKB and pick up a plate mail, making him quite tanky. I can't believe he missed that. But regardless, maybe it was for the best.
Why?
Mushi was charging up his stun at the top of the cliff.
Yeah.
So maybe there was potential, but I can't imagine why that's why he missed. He's like, well, I'll preemptively see this coming.
Hey, it looked like it landed to me. Maybe he cast it a little bit too far to the right or something. I did see Net move slightly after the X came, so maybe just a slight movement thing or something.
Yeah, that's a lot of the reason why some Kunkas decide to only keep it at level 2, just so you can never make that mistake. But the downside of that is obviously the range.
Yeah, the range is huge actually. I've had that problem a lot when I play Kunkka, and I say, okay, I'm bad at Kunkka, I'll grab 2, but then your initiation range is so low that you actually end up losing kills and losing possible team fight wins just because you didn't get that free pickoff.
Yeah, and Kunkka actually going to finish that data list now. He's got 2,400 gold. Demon Edge is just about there. You're strong. You know what the best thing about the Kunkka is? You have the potential for just ending the game instantly.
Yeah.
If you land a cleave, it's the game.
It's a pretty cheesy build, and it used to be better because of the interaction between Shadowblade, and you could crit on that before people discovered that this worked for Bounty Hunter. They popularized and they got nerfed immediately, but it's still really scary. If you do get crit, you take an extra, 2.5 times the damage or something like that, and that counts as pure damage. So we're talking about if he's hitting for like 170. Let's do some math. This is dangerous, but let's do some math. You could do like 600 to 800, somewhere in there. I'm just going to vaguely guesstimate. That's a ton of pure damage across your entire team, and that's just for one hit. I mean, that's just how the fight starts. The Crystal Maiden could just die there, and Puck as well could be put into pretty critical condition.
Yeah, and Mushi's just going to farm. And while he does this, he gets kind of, he's finally kind of catching up. He's still quite behind in farm. It's not the Mushi that you normally see, but How actually picks up the Shadowblade as well. I love mass Shadowblade builds, by the way. It's one of my favorite things to see, just because the damage output you get is great. It makes it so that the other team has to get a gem, and if they lose that gem, it just makes the game 100 times more difficult. Plus, it puts Extinct in a position where he's going to have to spend all of his extra gold just picking up dusts and gems. And look at Extinct right now. He's got a dust, no wards, and he's actually holding on to the Ring of Basilius for Ohio. I don't know why he just doesn't sell that or leave that in base.
Yeah, that's not actually...
it's like fake farm. He's like, you won't go on me.
Maybe when this other ward gets placed, that's actually what he's doing. He's putting Observer wards down for Extinct, because Extinct has 700 HP, and there's no way that she could do that successfully. So Nature's Prophet currently counter-pushing. I'm sure they'll transfer that back later for the 3 armor. It's actually pretty good. Nat's looking for a vacuum, actually. The illusion comes forward, going to scare him back.
And meanwhile, Ohio is going to farm the top lane. And at bottom, looks like the push gonna just break off there. And Moo, they're gonna catch him.
The crit, 700 damage, puts him to half. There's the Infest as well. Will be able to survive this. He does actually save his phase shift and blink away. That's all he had to do. He had to wait for a couple seconds to break the initiation. At least 3 seconds of the X before he uses his phase shift.
That damage from Moo, though, is kind of insane.
Yeah, he got the crit off. It did about half of his HP. No one around to splash to, of course, but still pretty sick.
Yeah. More of a passive farming game, as it looks like Mushi's just going to continue to farm these ancient camps. It's the safest thing he can do right now. Just try to extend the game as long as you can. Maybe if Mushi gets 1 or 2 big items, they can force a fight. And the assault is going to come out on him any second right now. The downside, though, is the rest of his team isn't doing a whole lot. The only other person farming right now is Ohio, and KYXY has to put himself in some pretty precarious situations just to get farm.
Mushi's going to be going for an AC after his BKB. He's got the plate mail as well as the chain mail picked up, so his survivability will be through the roof compared to where it was previously. Tongfu still has not snagged a dire hero. Crit cleave for 1075. Somebody did the math for me. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Our stats guy. That guy owns. But
so good.
Moo is going to go. KYXY does jump in, but Net's going to just get blown up.
Wow, the magic damage is so huge. Moo's going to take a nuke as well. Dust is popped. Can they pick him off the BKB? Mushi's attack speed is laughable here. King J running away. Moo
get the hit
walking through the fire. He gets the kill. King J hops out. And will they grab Ohio as well? Right-clicking now. King J trying to stay alive. The missile's going to land. King J staying alive. How as well. There's the frostbite. Mushi is right-clicking for every bit of damage that he can. The vacuum actually scores the kill, and Orange is defending this. There are some buybacks from a lot of their heroes, but how many was it? 1 buyback from Darkseer, 1 buyback from Nature's Prophet. That's why this looks one-sided, but it was not quite like that. But a good fight from Orange.
He's going to go down as well.
Wow, they pick him off.
KYXY able to come in. I really think Kunkka should have just turned around and hit. He had the cleave back up. I think he was going to die no matter what. Might as well just go for it. Because if a crit lands there, his team can turn around and fight that. But instead, the fight completely turns around, and Mushi actually is going to pick up this Aegis here.
And that's going to put him really close to the Assault Curse if he doesn't.
I think he actually has it.
Yeah, he does. He's about 50 gold away from it, or 70 gold away from this. As soon as Roshan dies, AC's picked up. 15 armor for him, 5 armor for him and his allies. If they've got the Basie on top of this, We're talking 7 armor for these guys, and there is so much physical damage. Now, as Kunkka splashes, he's going to do the pure damage through. It's based on his damage number, not by armor. At least the cleave works that way, so he's still going to do pretty full damage, but Gyrocopter and Lifestealer are going to be reduced.
Yeah, and Alchemist hitting level 16. He has caught quite back up considering how bad this early game has gone for him.
No kidding. It was really rough.
Yeah, it was...
Brutal, say it.
Yeah, like 12 minutes, the Jakiro had more farm than he did, but
Yeah.
King J
How's he doing, by the way? We haven't checked in with Bananas
slightly
in a while.
better. And King J actually picks up an ultimate orb. Is this the support utility Lifestealer where he's going to get a Hex?
That's weird. The cooldown on open wounds is pretty low at level 4, so he can cast a lot, but he's not going to run out of mana. I mean, he's already got Drum, but surely that's what it's going to be, right? Like,
I'd imagine so. That would make the most sense.
Scotty.
Moo at top.
It's farming. Invisible. Right clicking. Not getting the right crits off.
Still crits are quite a lot, even without that splash. 595. And a Hex completed on the Nature's Prophet. That's absolutely huge. The Kunkka is built so greedily without any sort of Hex or BKB.
Yeah.
So that Hex is going to be so effective on him.
Did these guys get the gem, by the way? There was a gem in the last fight. I don't know if it was lost. If we click around on a couple of heroes. Where are the ones that had gem?
I see.
can't remember.
Oh,
it
there's
is
a gem on the
Lifestealer,
Lifestealer.
so he ended up surviving. He's inside Moo again, so they're looking for more kills. They're actually going to run past the creep buff in the mid lane, and he does snag a sentry ward, so he would love to bait a fight, I'm sure. Puck is thinking about it, but killing this guy is not going to happen. He's very, very close to Sheepstick as well, so he's got to be careful for at least 2 minutes here. There's the X. Going to start things off phase shift any second. He's going to sit all the way through this. It's going to burn out. He'll blink away. Very easy. He's got to figure it out now.
At this point, but the crazy thing is it has worked before. So I think he's like, well, might as well throw it, see what I can get out of this.
I would be so surprised if it was the Lincolns, though, because he doesn't have damage yet. There's the splash on through. Puck
Oh, and
goes
the
in.
top
There's the
Moo's gonna
sound
get
ultis
initiated
as well.
on.
King J running for his life, and he should be able to escape. Everything looks okay.
Oh, Net's going to come in from the top. Oh, no. It looked like he was going to go crazy.
Like how crazy? Like yelling straight off crazy?
Like, ah!
Damn.
That's actually, nobody yells like that.
What about somebody crazy would, maybe?
Butterfly getting dangerously close right now for How. He's actually got a BKB, a Shadow Blade, and an Eagle Song right now, so doing quite well for himself.
It's really nice to have Shadow Blade as well. The 30 attack speed is quite nice to release the flat cannon damage a bit faster.
Yeah. Sansheng, though, has done... I mean, he's so poor right now. He's got a Bracer, a Magic Wand, and I think for the most part he's picked up the ward duties, because Banana's actually picked up a mech for himself.
See the new X?
It's the new X.
Start off so well. He doesn't have an urn. Guess who does? Crystal Maiden.
Crystal Maiden, man.
Crystal Maiden also level 11. I guess they're both level 11, so it doesn't really matter, but...
Yeah. Actually, Sansheng doesn't really look like he's had the most impact this game, going 0-7 and 11 so far, despite his team being in control for the most part. Gonna bait out How at top. I think Tongfu realizes now you can't really use the Kunkka to bait just because the Hex would be devastating on him.
It would be.
Not being able to get the Coco's roam off for the Ghost Ship would mean that he would just go down.
Man, look at the net worth overall. It's really, really close. The top 2 heroes are on the Radiant team, Tongfu. The next 4 are on orange. So I would say as a whole, they look like they're a bit higher on gold. And it is the Dire team that's in the lead. But there's going to be another TP bot as Kunkka as well as the Lifestealer want to gank. He is going to use Shadow Blade. And Alchemist goes in
Does he know that he's in the jungle? That's
he
the big
did
thing.
just leave the lane, so very likely, and there it is.
He's got the BKB though, so the damage has to be huge here.
Goes in, Mushi, initiated open wounds, he pops the BKB. They will be chasing this, they're pretty fast, both of them, but the TP in as well. And Nature's Prophet wanted to cover him, so.
Yeah, but
good
you
choice.
do get the BKB popped up on Mushi, and it's 8 seconds left, so he does have quite a bit of time left on it.
Denies
like-
another tower.
Deny tower. Mushi's got 3,300 gold now. What do you think he's gonna get?
Cool, Lifesteal's purchased Manat twice before, and
Manat?
now Scotty once. Never Scythe. I think, like, surely it's a Scythe, right? Like, Lincoln's is okay if he's really worried about getting disabled. Like, if it's a late game scenario and he's got a bunch of damage items and they have like a a Beastmaster or other major damage sources that can shut him down, or a Batrider, for example, sure, a Lincoln's would be great, but if anything, they just need Disable.
Yeah, I think a Hex would be the big
He doesn't
thing here.
need to do damage this game. They've got a Gyrocopter who's doing great, and they have a Kunkka who also has some good burst damage.
Oh, he's finally picked up BKB now on Kunkka. I really liked his decision. Going for more damage at this point isn't really worth it. And Gyrocopter waiting to get that pivotal butterfly. He should have it after this wave too. Net looks like he's going to push out bottom too, and Net's actually picked up a BKB of his own.
Interesting.
Oh, he's getting in position, and maybe looks like they want to initiate at this bottom lane right here.
Wow, that was like a really, really early... Oh, Nature's Prophet actually mistake. Blocks himself in, so he can't initiate with the Hex anymore, and How's going to get right out of there. A little bit of a bad TP from Prophet. He was in an extremely safe place, but blocked himself right into the 4 trees. So
what threw that off, too, was once he saw the trees coming at him, he's like, well, I better get out of here.
Yeah, there's obviously a Nature's Prophet here, and was able to survive. Lost a BKB charge, but I'm sure they would have much rather just killed the guy, decreased the GPM. And now, he's got a Butterfly, so evasion up for him. They still can Hex him to prevent the evasion from being super nasty, but this guy is looking very sick.
Yeah, Butterfly finished on How. Aegis is about to go down. That's a really big deal, though. Maybe that's Tongfu's sign to start fighting now. They realize the BKB is down, or not the BKB is down, but the Aegis is down. So Nature's Prophet, not a whole lot on him. I mean, Mushi still doesn't have too much farm on him for an Alchemist, so maybe they decide to fight, although he's got, as I say that, I click his hero and he's got 5,000 gold and he hasn't bought anything. What do you think he's going to go for? Abyssal Blade? Maybe a little more attack speed?
Abyssal Blade sounds pretty good. His attack speed, I think, is okay. Like, it looks good without his ulti, so I'm sure it looks really, really good with his ulti. Abyssal Blade would be pretty usable. A MKB might be the right choice as well, though. If he doesn't go... If he goes Basher, he's already banking on chance. And then if he's got a 33% chance to miss, or 35% chance, then, man... Then he's going to bash even less times. I feel like he might have to make an MKB. It's kind of an early MKB in the item progression. If there wasn't like a PA, I don't think, in a normal game that is, I don't think Alchemist would ever get it this early, but I think he kind of has to here because he's so far behind and they are starting to stack evasion.
Yeah, I'd like to know this reasoning behind Mushi sometime. Just like pick his brain and be like, why do you save all this gold?
He likes looking at the number. It makes him feel good, I guess.
Maybe buying everything at once just like appeals to his nature.
It is fun to spend money. I'm into that sometimes. Yeah. That's the dirty.
I can get behind that.
I'm generally.
No, you are the most frugal person I know.
I'm saving that. It's like drink sodas. No, $2, man. Water it is.
Sir, can I actually replace this with like the more cost-efficient food? That's what Kevin does when we go out to restaurants. He's like, "Can I actually get this?" Oh, he's actually gonna get a heart. That's gonna make him really difficult to kill, actually.
Well, they aren't that heavy on single target damage. I mean, Kunkka obviously can crit and stuff. Gyrocopter went for the butterfly, so his single target DPS is not bad actually, but Lifestealer's all about single target generally, but his item progression is definitely more of a 3 roll, so I guess this will be interesting. It also gives him plus 40. It's
and
not
a top.
bad, so
everyone's waiting right now.
All the Shadowblade actually runs out. Here's the first Hex, second Hex to follow up in just a second. Second Hex, there it is. Second Hex, King J taking the right clicks. He's getting low. He will end up going down. Geometry's but Puck's going to respond with his life. They're going to pull Ohio back. Rocket Barrage is used, and that is an easy kill. So 2 for 1, and that's 2 important heroes, by the way. 2 Hex carriers. They're dead for 60 seconds. Can they buy back? Prophet can, but that's it.
Yeah, Banana actually going to go head for this top rune. Really doesn't look like they're going to do too much here. Right after the kill, Mushi does have a BKB and a heart now, so he's just fine. Going to walk away here. Mu just going to clear out the creep wave, and he's got 2,500 gold. Maybe going for another big damage item here, and Mushi's just going to stun him because he just wants to get that catapult and run away.
Them catapults, man.
You have to do it. You have to take
crit.
the risks.
Ooh, 820 is what he's critting for. Off of the creep, so pretty scary. I'm sure he'd love to have another damage item on top of this. MKB perhaps will be on the way. We'll see.
Yeah, and I'd actually like to see Hal go for another damage item rather than a satanic, but Rocket does land, and is this going to be the fight? Net runs in a lot.
He just really likes always being max movement speed or something. Like, guys, look at my cool.
There's that tower deny
animation.
So all of the towers feel like they've been denied. I know the bottom one was for a fact, as the top one, and the middle one. Doesn't really look like Tongfu's getting too much gold out of this.
That's going to hurt their overall GPM. They could have a bigger rolling ball. They could possibly be able to push in. Orange has a gold advantage now. Things have turned around a bit. EXP is looking to be previously in Orange's advantage and swings back towards Tongfu once again. So this game could still go both ways very, very easily. It's not over by any means. There have been points in this game where it looked over a little bit, but the nature of Dota, man, comebacks are always going to be a possibility. And actually, Moo's going to pick up a plate mail, so extra survivability for him. Probably because the acid spray is just hurting him a little bit too much in the fights, and he needs more survivability. Look at this gank. Never mind, that's called farming a creep wave.
That's what you need to do when you're in a situation like this. Just continue to farm. But it looks like How making some movements up. Just gonna clear this creep wave. It looks like they actually do want to get into a fight. And for the first time this game, I think Mushi's actually at the top of the net worth graph.
Yeah. He has been fighting them for that for a long time, but finally has accelerated past as a result of Goblin's Greed. I kind of like the maxed rocket or homing missile in the late game, though, honestly. The cooldown is really low. Just starting the missile, especially against heroes that you can chase for a while, is pretty useful. And it's actually a pretty darn good magic nuke. So, I don't think it's worth maxing this early, but in a late game situation, I think the extra 2 or 3 skill points is definitely worth it over an extra 6 HP, or 6 stats.
Yeah, and actually, how gonna start out this Roshan? Looks like he wants to bait them into a fight. Just kind of, the team is being surrounded. They definitely know this is happening. The orb was thrown in there. Net actually just waiting at the top. He does have a BKB, so he should be able to get everything off. Banana's just gonna come up here and check.
There comes another orb to scout things out. It's gonna do some damage to the heroes, but he's not gonna orb into that one.
And I think they're actually gonna fight this. Mushi's gonna swing around from the bottom here and collapse.
They are ready to set up. He's gonna start his stun channel. Can he get within range? Here comes 3 seconds. So pretty good.
The missile's gonna land on net.
He throws down the acid spray, but doesn't even get close to anybody. Pops the BKB as well, so they're right-clicking. Moo's in some trouble. Taking a bunch of damage. Great vacuum actually wall as well. Moo running for his life. He hasn't even been able to cast anything at no boat, no torrent, no right-clicks at all.
Banana!
No banana. No banana.
My banana. And he does die. He force-staffed himself right into the arms of Mushi. Gonna get a free kill right there, and it looks like they're gonna back out. They realize it's a 4-on-5 fight. The best thing in the world that Profit provides is because you have so much money, you normally have enough for a buyback, and you can just TP into a fight and turn it into a 6,
6v5.
It's like you have a free life.
Now to do a 6v5, you have to do a ROTK TP first? Is that how that works?
You just gotta...
Or is it just like a regular, I win it?
You have to die first. That's the important thing. When you start that 6-on-5, and Ohio is actually going to be giving the Aegis again. I really agree with this decision. And he does go for the crazy TV.
Oh my gosh, he's going for the kill. He will be able to pick off Sansheng. He didn't even have to use his Hex there. He's got a Demon Edge picked up as well, so a little aggressive from them.
And it looks like Orange has actually taken firm control of this game again, despite the kill lead being in favor of Tongfu. It just seems like the farm and the momentum is on Orange's side. And man, Sansheng has not had a good game. He's 1-9-11, and he's got a bracer and a magic wand.
That's rough.
And his team has all but 1 tower right now.
He also has an extra gauntlet in the shop, buying another
that's,
bracer.
I'm so sorry that I discounted that.
Yeah, you should be. Really, I'm so mad.
You're so angry right now?
Pretty angry.
He's actually punching me in the chest right now, but I'm so strong that I don't even notice it. Moo's gonna go back, or King J's gonna go back to farming. He's got 2,900 gold on him and an ulti orb. I have to imagine this is a sheep.
Yeah, please be a sheep. We've been talking about sheep forever. Moo in trouble. BKB, man, their physical damage is so impressive. Moo had such a good start here, but was BKB the right choice? It feel like it doesn't even matter. He's just getting bursted down with physical damage.
You almost have to get a BKB though. If you don't get a BKB, what else are you gonna do at this point, right?
Shadow Blade in and hope they don't have a gem. That's pretty much it. Do they have a gem?
I don't know, but
no.
I think you have to get a BKB. And actually, Sansheng is going to die again.
Oh, man, here it is. He's ready to buy back, going in.
There's the
Sansheng
Force
running.
Staff.
There's the lift, trying to steal something. Nothing yet, and he might just get
It doesn't even look like he's stolen a spell this game. I can't imagine what he's... The impact on this game he's had hasn't been very high, whereas Extinct has just been a menace. Getting Frostbites off repeatedly. He saved the first fight, being able to Frostbite once on the Kunkka and once on the Gyrocopter, picking both those heroes off. Mushi's just absolutely huge now.
Pretty good damage being done to him. Treant's on the high ground to scout things out, but Flat Cannon is the slayer of trees.
Yeah, he's got 6k gold on him right now, 6,100 gold total. Just punching away at the tower.
It's the best way to kill trees, cut down trees, guys. Machine guns. It's a true fact.
Run from the rocket. This is the most exciting thing I've seen all day. Just running away from a rocket in slow
Dude, it's level
motion.
4. It can do like 300 magic damage after reduction. It's pretty good.
MKB finish on this Nature's Prophet. That's a lot of farm. Mushi's got 6.2k gold. He could go for an MKB. Maybe.
Oh, I thought he had a demon edge already for some reason. Probably the green sword thing.
Yeah.
You don't think Satanic's the correct choice here?
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like they have enough to kill Mushi at this point. You kind of need the Satanic just so you can live. But you need damage as well. I don't know. I think the
some damage.
I think the early BKB and the Shadow Blade were kind of poor choices. I would have liked to see him more the way that Burning likes to build his gyrocopter, where he goes to that Shadow Blade, maybe get the Helm of Dominator and just go straight into an NKB if his team is sufficiently far ahead.
Okay.
And that was the case.
Well, at times I think Orange is doing okay-ish.
Okay, here comes the counter ward. Finally getting it off. Doesn't cost Rupik his life. Nature's Prophet ultimate did go off here. Ohio's just going to set up at bottom. He still has the Aegis. I wonder if they're going to force the fight before the Aegis fades.
They're trying to, but if anybody does come bot, Nature's Prophet can definitely single somebody out. But they're all sitting very, very safe. Tongfu knows that the game is on the ropes. If they get a bad team fight, it's going to be a loss.
Yeah, and at this point, they can't really afford to take another poor fight. They're so... It just feels like they're behind, and actually, Net just running in and out. He does have a BKB and the Surge, so he's not too afraid of anything.
It's so crazy to see level 4 Surge, man. It lasts for so long. 7.5 seconds of max movement speed. So
there's the Hex. We knew it was coming. Yes. Finally, they have a Hex on their team. That's the instant initiate they need. Maybe that's what's going to tip the fight in their favor. Previously, didn't really have anything
any
before.
other hexes? No, that's going to be the only one. There are 2 on the Dire team, though, with a lot of BKBs. So, but even still, they can use this to initiate. He can set
and here
this
comes
up.
the stun from Mushi. Hex lands on Hao. There's the stun. Mushi just going to BKB and run in after the Rubik.
This is like a 3v5. I mean, he's going really aggressive. Why would he pop the V? Well, actually, he does not have detection. If they can chain stun this guy down, it would be a really big save for them. But Orange is going to push forward. He's trying to take out Mu. Great Ice Path as well, and another Telekinesis throws him down together. He's going to go down, respawn. Here comes the 7v5, or so to speak. Mushi running for his life is going to end up surviving, and now with a right click from the Nature's Prophet. The MKB gives him a lot of bonus damage here. Hao's going to go down. Sansheng wants to get out. King
and is
J
Extinct
well.
going to live?
Great stun. Neo X escapes, and Orange wins a team fight. 3 dead heroes on Tongfu. There's the vacuum back. Banana started the game off so well, and 4 dead heroes for Tongfu. Man, that team fight worked out for them. I mean, Alchemist popped his BKB too early, in my opinion, and they still ended up stomping it. It helps to have the Aegis, of course. Nature's Prophet goes down. Good game is called, and wow, it's a 2-0. Orange takes it 2-0 versus Tongfu. I really didn't expect this to happen here. I did call a 1-1, but I mean, Orange really pulling themselves together. The first game they did the old split push strategy. It worked very well. They've proven that many times tonight. This game was a lot crazier. Just imagine how this game started, guys. Remember that. We had an 0-4 Alchemist. He was roaming around the map, trying to gank other side lanes. I did not predict this happening. I thought this was mostly over. I mean, maybe Tongfu was too cocky to do aggressive ganks and things like that. But I mean, the Jakiro was so far ahead. I thought for sure that they were going to be able to snowball this one, but they just didn't get the subsequent team fights. They didn't go in their favor. I mean, Orange kept being able to initiate on Tongfu. Tongfu stopped getting the setups after their early gank stuff, so really, really impressive from Orange to be able to actually win this one, but it did turn out for them, so that was pretty cool to see. We'll see the game end in just a second, guys. We can check out the scoreboard. This is day 1 of Group B for the Alienware Cup, of course. Orange improves to 2-0 in Group B with the win, where Tongfu falls to 0-2. So not the best start for Tongfu, but they're definitely a very capable team. I'm sure that they can pull back. Just a little bit of issues with mid-game decision-making, I guess, or something like that. But Orange was able to outfarm them in the long run and overall take the second game. So pretty impressive to see. I want to know what you guys have to say over at the desk. LD, Blitz, take it away.
Well, we'll wait. Well, we won't wait for the scoreboard here. That's okay, though. Maybe we'll show it afterwards. But I felt like that was 3 games in one Blitz. You have the early game, right, where Orange Esports were... You remember, if you can go back to the laning stage, there was that regenerant top. Crystal Maiden goes in to deny it. You like that pretty much be an asshole play. Then she dies. Then Mushi goes in, dies as well. Then Prophet teleports in, dies as well. They were leading 1-0 at that point. They end up down 1-3. And then the Banana show. That was sort of the second phase of the game where Banana was 5-1-8. I think they had like maybe 20 kills. Was completely out of his mind, playing like a boss. Then there was like that third phase of the game where Orange was just farming, getting up their big items, stalling the game out, split pushing, being obnoxious. And then you get to the late game. And at that point, they had the Aegis advantage. They had a really strong team fight, and they just kind of outlasted Tongfu.
Yeah, it just looked like Tongfu was too content with just getting kills and not a whole lot else. They were like, well, we're quite ahead in kills right now. Mushi doesn't really have a whole lot.
Right.
We can kind of play this game a little more passively. We don't really have to take towers, but I think that was the wrong way of thinking about it. I think once you have a level advantage and a hero like an overall gold advantage, despite not taking any towers, that's when you want to get into these fights where you can push Mushi out, force him to just farm somewhere else. Because Mushi, for the most part, just kind of rotated in and out of mid, got essentially free farm after he died a few times. I think they thought, well, Mushi's so crippled, we don't really have to deal with him anymore. And then from there, that was the makings of the Orange comeback.
It all kind of unraveled from there for Tongfu. And I mean, end of the day, like you said, I think they were just a little bit too complacent. They had this lead. I felt they could have pushed it more. They had such a good 5-man lineup, but just kind of content to sit back and farm. They didn't really starve Orange, and this is where having Alchemist Prophet really comes into play. Such a good lineup to just farm the map, spread the map, and it was also a greedy 4-core lineup for Orange. We don't actually see them run this kind of a draft very often. It's something more that we see from Zenith, Dignitas, teams that will go for an extra farmer. We don't normally see Orange do that. It was something different for them. We saw early on Net on the Darks here, wanted to get involved maybe a bit too much, wasn't really getting the levels and farm he needed, but the game dragged on to the point where then he could, and then he had a huge impact.
Yeah, and KYXY absolutely dominating that top lane. King J was just dying, feeding left and right, giving up a tower, 2 towers really quickly, and then just from there, being able to actually have such a big impact on the game. And King J, you normally see a lifestealer do a little bit better than that, but he was just dying left and right, and it just looked like Rubik was never able to get his feet on the ground, whereas Extinct, he died so many times, but there's not a whole lot you can do as a Crystal Maiden once you have a 950 range X initiate. So she was going to die every time, but she was still really effective. She never really gave up. She was never like, well, I'm just going to be the feed machine. A lot of clutch Frostbites, good Novas overall. Just seemed like she had more of an impact on the game overall.
It's pretty crazy for a game to go, what was that, like 40-plus minutes at least, and Crystal Maiden, it felt like she was doing just more than the Rubik.
Yeah, exactly.
Rubik at that point should be your playmaker, and Crystal Maiden should really fall off.
At that point, it didn't really feel like he was having any sort of impact on that game. Whereas once the BKB started going down, Extinct seemed to have a really big impact on the game itself.
I guess, truth be told, there weren't that many great spells to steal. Alchemist spells aren't that great. Crystal Maidens are okay. Prophet's not really, doesn't have, I guess Teleport could be nice, but end of the day, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I just felt like Orange Esports, this is kind of a turning point in it's like a new chapter for them where we've seen Mushi on the carry role. They've been switching a lot to the player roles, which is, well, that's one thing, but it seems like they're learning how to win games when they go later, and they're also just kind of learning how to grind games out, where this is normally a team that when they win, they just snowball, and they just end the game really early. They've never felt like a team to me that can make epic comebacks or claw their way to victory against the top Chinese teams, but they do it here, and it's exciting as the International 3 draws closer. We're seeing Orange Esports continue to evolve.
Yeah, that really just looked like the first game we saw a really methodical pace be set out, where Mushi didn't come to fights, and then this one was where they tried to go into the flat-out ganking game, and they weren't at an advantage at any point until they ended up winning.
Until they were.
But it just seemed like it was a well-rounded. Overall, I like games like that because it shows how well a team really does.
It's like a full test.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
Well, great performance from RG Sports. They're going to finish this series off 2-0, so they're now 3-1 in the group. We actually take a quick look at those group standings, then we're going to cut to a break before, I think, the highlight match that everyone's really excited for. So it's Orange now 3-1. Tongfu, they start off 0-2, but it's only their first match. No matter what, all teams do advance to the playoffs. All teams will start in the winner's bracket. It's all about that one position, though. Na'Vi yet to play a game. IG, the other team, yet to play a game. They're going to be coming up next. IG versus Zenith. Whew, I'm excited.
Yes, as am I.
Best of 2. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll intro that match, guys, and then we'll get underway. IG versus Zenith. It'll be a final match of the of the evening, of the day, depending on where in the world you are, for the Alienware Cup Group B, our inaugural day of action. Stay tuned.